This tutorial is going to create a curtain for this window. We're going to do so using a Nurbs plane. I'm going to start out in the orthographic view in which I'm looking straight on that surface. I'm going to hold down the space bar, go to Create, Nurbs Primitives, and Plane. I'll drag the shape, and then I'm going to go to my channels window, and under Inputs I'll click on the geometry name, and I'm going to change the patches U and patches V to 6, and this will add more editable geometry to my surface. I'm going to go to my top view with that shape created, and I'm going to right click and choose Control Vertex. And I'm going to start to ripple this surface by grabbing alternate vertexes here. And when I return my perspective view, I've got the beginnings of the surface I'd like to create. Now once I have the basic shape, I'll start to customize it. I might scale to taper it if I choose to flip it over, which I'll probably do so I have a symmetrical mirror image of this when I'm done. And I'll start to scale it proportionally perhaps. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to use Control Vertices to go in and customize it so it looks a little bit more natural rather than just like a piece of corrugated plastic. I might select across the top. I'm going to hit B on the keyboard to get my soft select, just as we had with our polygons. And I'll start to make this a little bit more organic. I'm starting to kind of edit this so as if perhaps this curtain is a bit wind blowing through an open window. Once I have the general shape, I might go in now and grab some of the vertices at the bottom edge and start to pull it out so I get this distribution that looks like perhaps the breeze is pushing this curtain around. Now I can continue to customize this as much as I want, but I think this is enough to go with, so I'm going to scale it down and put it in position. I'll go to my orthographic view once again, and I'll scale it down. And I'm anticipating a curtain rod up at the top, so I'll have it start above the window and perhaps fall a little bit lower down here like so. I'll go in one more time here, and rather than have a straight line across here, I want it to be a little bit more naturalistic, so perhaps this comes down a little. I'm going to take the soft select off so I have a little bit more control over specific sets of control vertices. And once I have the shape I want, I'm going to return to my orthographic view. I'm going to make a mirror image of this and flip it over. And in order to do so, I'm going to duplicate it. But to do that, I need to hold down the space bar, and I'm going to go to Edit, Duplicate Special, and I'm going to the menu for that, or the attributes. And in the Duplicate Special window, I'm going to go down to where it says Scale. If I were to go to Scale, the axes that are reflected in these boxes are from left to right, X, Y, Z. I'm going to put a minus sign in front of the number 1 for scale in the x-axis, and I'll hit return to set that function, and then I'll click on apply, and I can see that it's produced a mirror image of that curtain. Now at this point it's really very subjective on scale, position, all these things that wouldn't be created to your specific need. Now if I wanted to, I could also put a curtain rod in at the top. And I'm going to use a simple polygon cylinder, and I'll introduce that through the side view. And if I keep that curtain kind of selected, I can move it into position, and I can also hit F on the keyboard to get on top of it so I can introduce that curtain rod using a polygon cylinder pretty close to where it's going to be when it's done. So I'll drag the footprint in that side view. I'll go to my perspective window and I'll start to click out that geometry. I'm going to jump into the front view once again. I might decide to taper this a bit and then give it the length I want. And then I'll just go in and put it into position. So it appears to be going through the curtain. Now I could put more detail on this if I wanted to. I could put a little sphere on either end of it, but I think that's pretty much a subjective need as well. And there you have it.